Hi, everyone. I'm thankful to have you here this Thursday, June the 18th. Clouds and showers pretty much dominating the weather, and we're going to continue to see that upper level low, which just won't let go, be in charge for the next several hours. But it's on its way out, and I'll tell you what's going to move in behind it in your updated forecast in just a few moments. Headlines tonight will include coverage of the Fiscal Court meeting earlier this week, where the purchase of new equipment, says the judge of Fiscal Court, means that roads will never be the same in McFarland County. Also, during the Paintsville City Council meeting this week, via a request of annexation of a large parcel of property, we learn of a proposed attraction or development of some $4 to $5 million that's being brought possibly into Paintsville. The Paintsville City Council also addressed any future protests and some other business. And in other news, a former Saviors Ville man was officially sentenced today to 21 years in federal prison on serious sex-related crimes and charges related to several small children. All that and much more in what's coming up, or what's left of the half hour. We'll jump right into headlines this evening, and we have two murders in eastern Kentucky to report this evening. The first from yesterday's date, actually both during yesterday's date, actually. Last night around 11:45 p.m., Kentucky State Police out of Post 8 in Moorhead say that they had received word that a man had been shot in Flemingsburg. Allison Haynes, 20 years old, of Flemingsburg, was in a verbal altercation with 33-year-old Brent Tester, also of Flemingsburg. And state police tell me that while the two were arguing, Miss Haynes retrieved a firearm and shot Tester, who was taken to the Fleming County Hospital, but later pronounced dead at that facility. Allison Haynes has been charged with first-degree murder and is lodged in the Mason County Detention Center in Wolfe County on yesterday's date. Around 10:14 last night, Kentucky State Police, also out of Moorhead, responded to Wolfe County for assistance in the Zoe community, where Troy Dunkelberger, 31, of Westchester, Ohio, was having a verbal altercation with 31-year-old Jaron Slayback of Cincinnati. While they were arguing, Dunkelberger got a firearm and fired at Slayback, who was fatally wounded and pronounced dead by the Wolfe County coroner. Troy Dunkelberger of Ohio, charged with first-degree murder. He is in the Powell County Detention Center. A former Saviors Ville man was sentenced to 252 months in federal prison today for engaging in illicit sexual conduct while traveling and living in Cambodia. Mickey Rife, 37, was sentenced in federal court by U.S. District Judge Gregory Van Tatenhoff after pleading guilty back in January, while he, a U.S. citizen, engaged and attempted to engage in illicit sexual conduct with two minor females while traveling and living in Cambodia. Rife had admitted that between September of 2012 and December of 2018, he traveled in foreign commerce, and between March of 2013 and December of 18, he lived in Cambodia, and during that time period, he admitted to touching at least two minor females under their clothing and inside or on their genital areas on more than one occasion. He also says the federal government, in their release to me today, says he further admitted that both minor victims were under the age of 12 when the illicit conduct occurred. Rife had already been indicted on two separate counts of the same offense in February of last year, and as I told you last year or early this year, he pleaded guilty to a single count in January, actually, of this year. And under federal law, Rife has to serve 85% of that 21-year sentence. He also will be under the supervision of the U.S. Probation Office for a period of 20 years after he is released, and he was also ordered to pay $2,000 in restitution. Saviors Ville Independent and Your News Today and earlier reports covered the original complaint that said while he was a teacher in Cambodia from September of 2012 through December 18, he had allegedly sexually assaulted a 5-year-old girl, and during the investigation into that case, investigators uncovered other allegations of sexual abuse regarding Rife and two other young girls, students at the school. It was in February of 2018 that his then ex-girlfriend contacted the U.S. Embassy, giving them information about a teacher, later identified as Rife, who had allegedly sexually assaulted a Cambodian female student who was about 5 years old at the time of the assault. She also told them that she had been in a long-term relationship with Rife and they had adopted a Cambodian female child about 2 years old at the time, and she had voiced concerns to the embassy that Rife was sexually abusing their adopted child and that he may leave Cambodia and take the child with him. I'll be right back. Back by popular demand and with a new set of coupons starting next week, you've got this week to take advantage of the $5 off coupon in the Sayersville Independent. And you can get a free coupon with a free paper when you stop by your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe. That $5 coupon is good for any 16-piece or 20-piece family pack. That is chicken with all the fixings, chicken any way you like it. Famous crispy oven roast. However, $5 off. Get the coupon, get the meal, feed everyone, make them happy, and save money and time as well. Only at your Sayersville Lee's. There is never a good time for a breakdown. They will happen, and your car at some point is going to need some repairs and maintenance. And Black Smoke Performance is open and here with professional, fast, safe service. And just in time for warm weather, they now have certified full air conditioning, diagnostics, and repair to keep you cool in whatever you drive. Black Smoke Performance, 349-8785. Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville and get your prescriptions filled, your over-the-counter medications, and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle, either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville, 349-4400.
Appalachian Wireless, this is Bobby. How may I help you?
I'm visiting my sister in Lomansville this weekend. Will I have service?
Of course. We have several towers in Lawrence County.
Appalachian Wireless, this is Megan.
Where's my nearest store? I'm in Bright Shade.
That would be our store in Manchester. Would you like the address?
I just moved to Pineville. I'm sure you don't know where that is. Will I still have service?
Yes, ma'am. That's down in southeastern Kentucky. We do service your area.
When you call us, it's as easy as calling your friend or neighbor because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
I'm Hal Rogers, and I approve this message.
He fights for the mountains, for life, and for our president. He's Congressman Hal Rogers. When the world seems shaky, you need steady, proven leadership that delivers. Relief for workers and small businesses. Holding China accountable for what they did. Getting our economy moving again. And fighting the opioid crisis. That's Congressman Hal Rogers. Pro-life, pro-Trump, and pro-Kentucky.
The seasonal shop is open, and they're still doing curbside pickup, so you can call and place orders, and they'll still bring them out to you. And inside, you'll find all new merchandise throughout the entire store, all new spring and summer women's clothing from Charlie Page and Mud Pie, accessories, jewelry, shoes, and bags too, casual outfits for everyday or special occasion outfits and dresses. And if you've been home a lot and really want to freshen up your decor, they have so much to choose from, and they're happy to give you any fresh ideas that you might need. And just in, a large selection of Simply Southern and Candleberry at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Sayersville. In their special session earlier this week, as it was not held earlier on their regular meeting time and date, the Paintsville City Council took up a variety of topics in regular business. They approved the second reading of the city's budget, and then they discussed the annexation of 2 properties. Via a request for annexation, Mayor Bill Mike Runyon informed the council that there was someone or an entity looking to invest millions of dollars into Paintsville and were requesting that a large parcel of property be annexed into the Paintsville city limits for that purpose. Early on, the council read and approved the second reading of the fiscal year 2021 budget for the city of Paintsville. And in requesting the council to consider the annexation of 2 personal parcels of property, the mayor indicated that one was near a business on 23 and the other was related to a multi-million-dollar investment that developers are apparently planning, and requested that over 100 acres related to that project be annexed into the city limits.
Now, one of those tracts is about 112 acres. All right, and they have already, I don't want to say pledged, but they've already made the comment that they want to spend $4 to $4.5 million to bring an attraction to Johnson County that is badly needed for our kids and our families. And in order to do that, they wanted to put a nice state-of-the-art restaurant on that property, zip lines, climbing walls, so on and so forth. So that is one of the tracts of land. The other one is a small tract of land, the BP station up on 23. And he wanted to be annexed in. But none of this annexation that you're voting on tonight includes any private property except those two properties. Am I correct when I say that? Yes, you are.
While there was no mention of exactly what type of development or attraction this may be, after some further discussion, it did receive unanimous approval from the City Council. Moving on, the mayor presented the City Council with a list of guidelines for their assessment, guidelines that have been put together in regards to demonstrations. In light of recent demonstrations in Paintsville, Eastern Kentucky, and across the country, the mayor presented the council with a number of options: pre-approval of a protest at least 5 days prior, with public safety, cleanup, and various other aspects to be taken into account when someone wishes to do a protest in Paintsville.
Our policies and our ordinances, we had no guidelines whatsoever to try and determine where those could be held and how long they should be held and whether or not we could do anything about it. So this next one is simply a protest and rally guideline, policy on demonstrations, protests, and rallies, so that we can have some type of control, so that things don't get out of hand like in some of these other states and cities that's been going on, for us to have at least a little bit of something to go by, that we can keep a little bit of control over.
And following their consideration, the council voted unanimously in favor of those guidelines. And lastly, Regina McClure addressed the City Council on the creation of a homeless shelter task force, which consists of a group of pastors, law enforcement, emergency management, local government, Mountain Comprehensive Care Center, and other representatives. This task force already approved by the Fiscal Court and approved as of this meeting by the Paintsville City Council. Now let's go to the Magoffin County Fiscal Court meeting from day before yesterday or evening before last. They too approved a second and final reading of the county's budget, and also, among other business, they agreed to purchase equipment that will mean that Magoffin County roads, after some time and effort, will never be the same. The Fiscal Court read and approved the second reading of the county budget, described by Judge Wireman as being very conservative and very lean, but one that the county could operate on. In departmental updates, Deputy Judge Kevin Howard updated the court on the 911 move. The furniture has been installed. They are currently installing the equipment, and the 911 center soon will be moved from the community center to the courthouse. He also outlined 247 new county road signs, which had just been purchased, also mentioning that Hinkle will begin resurfacing various county roads around the 1st of July, and Howard also outlined improvements at the community center, which I have covered here just a few days ago in earlier programming. The Fiscal Court then went on to approve the purchase of a 6,000-gallon emulsion storage tank for about $55,000. That, when combined with other equipment, makes the county, or gives the county, the ability to chip seal roads instead of just using cold patch. Judge Wireman saying they hope to have this process functioning by fall, detailing its many benefits.
The money it costs for this here, compared to blacktopping roads, how many roads could you blacktop for what this investment's worth?
This right, well, this $55,000, you couldn't do a half a mile, about a half a mile blacktop. Yeah. And we'll get this, we'll have it in place, and we'll be able to do it. The chip seal you can do, according to county judge in Knox County, who done this for 11 before he got to be judge. He says it costs you about $20 to $25 a ton to chip seal the road. Once you do that, it's not minimal dust, and you don't have to put any more gravel on it hardly. You don't have to, any potholes come in, you can go in there and fix it right back pretty quick with that machine. Yeah. So this right here will be a great investment for it. And when we get our roads that are gravel now chip sealed, if the regulations stand as they are, they'll make them eligible for resurfacing money. So as time goes on, we can get resurfacing money, we could essentially blacktop a chip sealed road.
Some people don't understand that they're not eligible unless
yeah, right. The gravel roads, we can't use the black roads that we're blacktopping now. The only way you can use that is if it's already been blacktopped.
Yeah.
If it hasn't been blacktop, you can't take that money and put it on a gravel road. But if we chip seal it, you can. So that's why over the next couple of years, we get all of our gravel roads chip sealed and all of them come out.
That makes you great.
Yeah. But this right here is just, this is a good investment.
Yeah.
Later, the Fiscal Court went into executive session announcing they were discussing pending litigation. They came back afterwards, resumed the meeting, saying no action had been taken on about 4 ongoing court cases involving the McGoffin County Fiscal Court, one going back as far as 1985, following which the judge requested the Fiscal Court fill a park board vacancy left behind by Susie Salyer with Mr. Jimmy Salyer. And later, the judge detailed a recent meeting with County Attorney Greg Allen, Representative John Blanton, State Auditor Mike Harmon, and his Chief of Staff, addressing bills for over $500,000 for a series of audits the county has been billed for.
We've been in discussions about the audit bills that we got for the sheriff's audits. The bills are pushing $500,000. After lengthy discussion, they asked for me to submit a proposal. I did so. That proposal was that we have $100,000 budgeted for the state auditor, that we would send them that $100,000 this year. The remaining amount that we owed, that we had of that, about $78,000, we paid today. Next year, I told him I'd increase that total amount to $125,000, and he replied in a letter I got last week, and he accepted that proposal. So we'll be able at least to not have to worry about having any money intercepted, because if we didn't start paying on it, somehow they were going to intercept the road fund. Yeah. So at this point, we've got that through the end of next year. The problem with that is that doesn't solve the issue. We still owe them $500,000. Yeah. There's audits ongoing now that we haven't got bills for.
But there's nothing changed. I mean, the sheriff, is this pertaining to the sheriff?
These are the sheriff's audits right now, yeah. And our audits here, and the audits for the clerk. We have to pay for all those.
Yeah. Has he changed his method of operation to where we won't be paying for this year, the next year, and next year?
We have to pay the audit bills no matter what, but whether they'll be as large, I don't know. I've been working with legislators and actually had things in the works this past session, and COVID not hit, to maybe change the law on how all this stuff goes. They actually had in there where we'd only had to pay 25% of it. The legislature's going to pay the rest. Well, when COVID hit, they scrapped all that and left it as it is. So hopefully in this next session, we'll be able to get some legislation passed to change the way the bills are sent out. Because I'm an accountant, I've done audits. It don't cost $65,000 to audit a $500 account or $500,000 account. That's ridiculous. And I expressed that pretty emphatically to the state auditor for about 45 minutes.
When I come back, your calendar and much more, including Juneteenth, as described by Governor Beshear during his daily address. I'll be right back. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Times have changed, now and suddenly more than ever. Our lobbies might be closed, but the Saviors Ville National Bank wants to remind our customers that we're still here, we're still working to provide our community with as many services as possible. During this time especially, we encourage all of our customers to take advantage of all the options we offer to manage your accounts from the convenience of your home. 24-hour internet banking and bill pay, 24-hour telephone banking, remote deposit, automatic loan payments, and wire transfers are also still available to our customers. And we're still here during our normal hours. Mondays through Fridays, the main drive-thru is open from 8 until 3, and the branch drive-thru is open from 8 until 5. And the branch drive-thru is also open on weekends, Saturdays 8 until noon, with ATMs available 24/7 at both locations. Here's your calendar for tonight with a reminder to start it off. Brought to you, of course, nightly by McFarland Farm Bureau. A reminder that sports physicals, that's free sports physicals, that's the best kind, especially when they're done right here in Saviors Ville at the ARH Clinic. Those sports physicals are available for free tomorrow, 8 until 4, and Monday through Friday of next week, 8 until 4. Parents, please call 349-6500 for an appointment. The ARH Clinic here in Saviors Ville. Free sports physicals for our student athletes who are trying so hard to get back in the gym, on the court, on the field, what have you. And we're trying to get your announcement heard, and that includes birthdays and anniversaries too. All you have to do is just tell me so I can tell everyone else about it. Going on to tonight's funeral services, brought to you nightly by the McFarland County Funeral Home. We've just been told of the passing of 71-year-old Carolyn Salyers of Staffordsville, who passed away earlier on today's date at her home. I'm told arrangements are incomplete at this hour, but to be announced soon by the McFarland County Funeral Home. Car accidents don't stop. Accidents at work don't stop. Disability and SSI cases don't stop. Your legal needs and concerns don't stop for the coronavirus, and neither does McFarland and Tinker. They are open, able to schedule appointments per CDC guidelines, and always available for telephone and video conferences. Please, be safe, be smart, stay home, and don't let your legal needs fall victim to the pandemic. Call McFarland and Tinker and let them take care of them for you. All Pro understands that we are all just trying to make it through these most difficult of times, and they want you to know that they're here to help with any repairs or projects that you need done. Big or small, doesn't matter. They've got 0% financing for 18 months and long-term financing if you need it. If you need anything from a new gutter to a new house or a new garage, call All Pro Gutter Works and Construction, 349-9999. Now, on the COVID-19 front, a couple of things to pass along to you. Dr. Anthony Fauci, top U.S. infectious disease expert, says he indeed is concerned that the increases in infections in light of reopening could develop into full-blown outbreaks, but hopes that individual states can blunt that, as he says, as he continues to look at numbers from many states that we have been discussing for many days: Florida, Arizona, Virginia, others. He also said that, quote, it's not inevitable that a second wave or massive wave of infections could happen in the fall, but it could be prevented if approached in the proper way with widespread testing and contact tracing. Here locally in Sagersville, Public Health Director Mayor Pete Shepard confirmed today 775 McFarland Countyans tested, a total of 741 negative cases, 29 pending tests at this hour, and no new positive tests to add tonight, still at 5, as of course I reported to you last night with our most recent case. 3 of those are considered active, and in isolation 2 have since recovered. Governor Beshear, in his update today, announced 234 new cases and 3 more deaths across the Commonwealth. That means over 13,000 Kentuckians have contracted the virus, 13,197. The death toll now is at 520 with these 3 latest deaths. He also indicated that Juneteenth will be an official holiday in Kentucky. Juneteenth, by the short or narrow poll that I've conducted in-house and in very limited numbers today, something not known a lot about by a lot of individuals. But given the current climate in our nation, it is something that, of course, has become largely discussed in the past several days. President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation back in 1962, put an end to civil war and slavery, but it was almost 3 years later that the last holdout, Galveston, Texas, well, honored that, if you will, and it was almost 3 years later that African Americans there were no longer slaves. Texas, one of the 7 Confederate States of America, of course. And Juneteenth sometime thereafter, I can't say soon, but sometime thereafter became known as a combination of the month, June, which is, of course, the date that General Gordon Granger went to Galveston and enforced what Abraham Lincoln had, of course, put into law, transforming the holiday into the name that it's been known by now for 100 years. Juneteenth. Governor Beshear, in his announcement today, saying that he signed and was going to sign a resolution, in fact, enacting Juneteenth as an official Kentucky holiday.
Tomorrow is a special day in America's history. It's known as Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a day that is recognized when Major General Gordon Granger led Union soldiers into Galveston, Texas, to bring news that the Civil War had ended and to read General Order Number 3 that stated, in accordance with President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, all enslaved people are free, and former masters and enslaved people have absolute equality of personal and property rights. I believe this is oftentimes known as the true end of slavery in the United States. The date that the very last part of our country had this order read, sadly, it was several years after the Emancipation Proclamation itself. During these times when, again, we have heard voice and we have seen the frustration of hundreds of years of the ramifications of slavery, discrimination, of Jim Crow, of segregation, I think it's more and more important that we remind everybody of this dark chapter in our history and that its impacts continue to linger, and that we celebrate the dates that at least portions of it ended. So today, I'm going to sign a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth here in the Commonwealth. I believe it's the first time that it's been recognized. And my commitment is I am going to ask the legislature to recognize it as a state holiday through legislation that would have to pass in the next General Assembly. But I think it's time. It's the right thing to do. And I'm going to do a ceremonial signing today. I'm going to ask my Executive Secretary of the Cabinet, Michael Brown, to read the proclamation, at which point I'll sign it, and we will officially recognize Juneteenth here in the Commonwealth.
Now let's check out some clouds and showers that will finally be parting on your Licking Valley RECC outlook. That forecast has us peaking at around 86 degrees on your weekend and then falling back down to 80 before the end of your outlook. And 80 is kind of where it starts tomorrow, that is. Tonight, a low of 60, continued mostly cloudy skies, and this upper level low just won't let go. It's going to eventually by the weekend, but we're still holding on to a lot of cloud cover and isolated and scattered showers that we have seen on and off. Is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? Back and forth all day long, and we've got some more of that tonight with a 60% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, and again, 60 degrees, and tomorrow, still mostly cloudy, right around 80, a 50% chance of showers for your Friday with mostly cloudy skies pretty much across the board, start to finish for your Friday. But finally, the system starts to part ways with eastern Kentucky, and in doing so, we'll make way for some warmer air closer to where we should be. First half of your weekend looks to be right around 85 degrees, mostly sunny. Now, there is a slight 20% chance of some showers and thunderstorms during a slight window of around 4 to 5 right now, Saturday afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny and calm and around 85 degrees, mostly clear that night and a low of 64. So a slight and narrow window of some showers and thunderstorms possible on your Friday. Sunday, 86, a little warmer, 67 for your high and low, mostly sunny, and again, mid-late afternoon, about a 20% chance of some showers, maybe thunderstorms. Monday, we'll still hold on to the mid-80s, partly sunny, but an increased 60%, which technically makes it a likelihood for some of us. Chance of some showers and thunderstorms, again, mainly Monday, latter afternoon, after 4 or so. 67 that night. And then we start a slow decline. 84 Tuesday, partly sunny and a 70% chance of showers and storms. Wednesday, knock another degree off. 83, partly sunny, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. And by Thursday of next week, we back down to 80 with partly sunny skies and a 50% threat or chance of some showers and storms. That's it for tonight. We'll wrap up this week when I see you next time. Good night for now, and thank you as always for watching.